Hello, friends. Today, I want to tell you a story. Not just any story, but one that might just change the way you see your own challenges. It's about a young man named Marcus. He didn't have money, fame, or even support. What he did have was a dream that wouldn't let him sleep, and the guts to chase it when everyone else said, "You'll never make it." Let's dive in. There was once a young man named Marcus who grew up in a small town nestled between towering mountains. His family was poor, and life was tough. Every day, Marcus watched the sun rise behind the jagged peaks, feeling as though those mountains represented the challenges that life had dealt him. But he also felt a calling, a dream that stretched far beyond the valley. From a young age, Marcus had heard stories about the summit of the highest mountain, a place where the sky seemed to touch the earth. It was said that those who reached the top would experience a moment of pure clarity, where all the struggles of life would make sense. It was a dream he could never shake off, though no one from his town had ever managed to make the climb. The path was too steep, too dangerous. But Marcus, with his heart full of determination, decided that he would be the first. He didn't have much, just the clothes on his back and a simple pack with a little food and water. His family, though loving, didn't understand why he would risk his life for something so uncertain. "It's too hard," his father warned. "You'll never make it. It's not meant for people like us." But Marcus had already made up his mind. He believed that the climb wasn't just about reaching the summit. It was about discovering what he was truly capable of. With each step, he would grow stronger. He would learn things about himself that no one else could teach him. The journey was brutal. The mountain tested him in ways he never imagined. Some days, the winds howled so fiercely that he could barely stand. Other days, the path was so steep that his legs trembled with exhaustion. But every time he wanted to quit, he remembered why he started. He remembered the dream that kept him going, the vision of the summit, the clarity that would come when he stood on top of the world. Days turned into weeks. Marcus's body grew weak. His hands were scraped and bleeding, but his resolve remained unbroken. He was not climbing the mountain for fame or glory. He was climbing to discover his own potential. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, he reached the summit. Standing there, with the wind gently brushing his face and the world spread out below him, Marcus felt a sense of peace unlike anything he had ever known. The climb had been hard, but it had taught him something vital. The journey was more important than the destination. As Marcus stood at the peak, a quiet realization washed over him. The summit wasn't the end of the journey, but rather a new beginning. He looked down at the winding path he had taken, each step marked with struggles, doubts, and moments of weakness. But those were the very things that had shaped him into someone stronger, someone who could now face whatever life threw his way with unwavering confidence. He thought about the people in his life, the ones who had doubted him. They didn't see what he saw. They couldn't understand the hunger for growth that burned inside him. But standing here, above the clouds, Marcus knew that he didn't need anyone's approval but his own. It was not the mountain that had changed him. It was the courage to rise above his fears and pursue a vision that no one else could see. When Marcus finally descended the mountain, he returned to his town a changed man. He was no longer the young boy who had once felt small beneath the towering peaks. He was someone who had discovered his own greatness, not in reaching the top, but in every single step he had taken to get there. And as he shared his story, the town began to change, too. People started to believe in themselves and their own possibilities. The mountain had always been there, but now it was no longer a barrier. It was a symbol of everything they could achieve. The climb to the summit wasn't just a physical challenge. It was a transformation of the spirit. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to VocabBuilder for more powerful stories, vocabulary lessons, and motivation to keep you growing. Drop a comment below. What's the mountain you're climbing right now?